You've probably had a goldfish, small tank, little plastic castle, swimming in slow circles all day, and at some point you probably thought, he seems fine in there, alone. But what if he isn't? What if that slow circle isn't peace? What if it's loneliness? Here's the strange part. We don't think of fish as having feelings at all. No face like ours, no bark, no purr, no whimper, just silent circles behind glass. And because they can't show us pain the way a dog can, we assumed for a long time that there was nothing there to feel. So what if fish don't just swim? What if they notice who's missing? What if a fish separated from its group searches for it? What if isolation changes a fish's brain the same way it changes ours? Stress, withdrawal, a kind of quiet suffering with no sound at all. What if lonely isn't a human word we're borrowing for fish? What if it's older than us? This isn't speculation. Scientists have actually tested this. Researchers studying zebrafish, a small striped fish used constantly in behavior labs, found something specific. Zebrafish are naturally social. They form shoals. They stay close to others of their kind. When researchers isolated individual zebrafish for extended periods, their behavior changed. They became more anxious, more erratic in how they moved. Their stress hormone levels measurably went up, not because the tank was smaller, because they were alone. Scientists call this social isolation stress, and it isn't unique to mammals, which brings us back to your goldfish circling that little plastic castle. In the wild, most fish species we keep as pets never live alone. They live in shoals, sometimes hundreds strong, where being near others isn't a preference. It's survival, safety in numbers, information passed through the group, warmth in species that need it. Take that away, and something in the fish's biology registers the absence. It gets more specific. Cleaner fish, the small fish that live by removing parasites off larger fish, have been shown to recognize individual clients, not just a fish. That fish. If a familiar client disappears, some cleaner fish appear to search the area longer than usual before giving up. Cichlids, a family of fish popular in aquariums, form long-term pair bonds. Some species show measurable stress responses, changes in behavior, and hormone levels when separated from a long-term mate. Even octopuses, not fish, but studied alongside them in isolation research, show clear behavioral differences depending on whether they've been kept alone or with others. Isolated individuals often become more defensive, more reactive, more withdrawn. But here's the catch. We built most home aquariums for one fish, a single betta, a single goldfish, because we assumed a fish alone was a fish at peace. But for social species, a life alone in a tank isn't calm. It might be the closest thing a fish has to solitary confinement. And that changes the question, doesn't it? Because if a zebrafish's stress hormones rise in isolation, if a cleaner fish searches for a missing client, if a cichlid responds to losing its mate, then loneliness might not be a feeling we invented. It might be a feeling we simply named, something biology built long before there were words for it, long before there was anyone around to write the word lonely down at all. And this isn't only about fish in a tank. Wild fish populations are being fragmented right now. Dams breaking up rivers, warming waters pushing shoals apart, habitat loss thinning out groups that used to number in the hundreds. Some researchers now wonder whether isolation stress, the same kind measured in lab zebrafish, might be playing out silently across entire wild populations. Not hunger, not predators, just absence. Fewer neighbors, fewer bodies moving nearby in the water. We've spent decades worrying about whether fish feel pain when they're caught. Maybe we should have also been asking whether they feel something when they're left. So the next time you look at a goldfish circling alone in its tank, don't assume the circle is calm. It might be a shoal of one, swimming a pattern built for company it no longer has.